Hello viewers, I'm SB, and welcome to Godhood. I bet some of you knew it would be my voice, that you would someday hear say that. This is the newest game from Abbey Games, makers of Reus, as you can see down there in the corner, as well as Renowned Explorers. And if you've been around the channel for a long time, you probably know how much I love both of those games. So, because I trust the monks over at the Abbey, I've kept myself intentionally in the dark about Godhood as much as possible. I figured we could learn about it together, that'd be a little bit more fun, but I have no fear at all that the Abbey is going to put out a bad product. So as you can see, it just came out into early access today. That's neat. Check that out. There's like a shadow being cast from the logo with the mouse cursor as the light source. That's really cool. As you can see, I'm easily distracted, and this game just came out in early access. It's on a little bit of a just hit early access sale, and I believe they said the price is going to go up when it hits 1.0, so you know, if these videos make it look interesting, do feel free to pounce. And I believe Reus and Renowned Explorers are also on sale. If you're not familiar with them, I implore you to check them out. There are videos right here on this channel. Those games are both excellent, and well worth their full price, not to mention their sale price. So, let's do the thing. Let's get in here. Let us go and be gods. What I know about this game is that you play as like a deity, and you like guide villagers to form a religion based on you, and that's it. That's all I have. So you're all caught up here. And you are apparently some kind of, is this like a, I guess it's like a dog snout? I'm not sure what's going on there. How should we address you? The Divine? That feels a little bit strong. I mean, my very best friends call me Cash, but SB will do. The worshippers follow SB, god of the following, with a simple fervor. You know what? The following is actually a pretty good name for a religion, and followers is like probably the best possible name for people who follow that religion. I'm sure we'll be doing more than one game of this. We'll come up with some more creative stuff in the future. What shall be our colors? You know what? That is about the orangest orange that I see there, so that'll do. And do we get to mess with this? Oh, okay, you can click on the eyes to make them just appear or disappear? Probably this button is the... Yep, okay. Let's just have a little... Ooh, you get some options, alright. Well, I mean, if we're gonna be a deity, we may as well go big, right? What is the point of going halfway? Okay. So that right there was the least halfway thing I've ever seen. We're gonna do some of that. What kind of hats do we have? That hat's just a fish. That's just a cosmic fish on your head. I like the idea of a cosmic fish. And we're a little sad, because the cosmic fish has bitten down harder than he said he would. You can never trust a fish. And then maybe we're Chester Cheetah? Oh wow, check that out. I like that very much. This sort of like floating skull that's not quite connected. We can fiddle with the colors a little bit. The red's a little much, don't you think? Can we take that down to an... but see, now it's blending in with the background. Alright. The red's fine. The red's fine. I think this is okay. Which parts of this are controlled by which one of these? Wait a minute. Does this do anything? They did say that in early access, some parts of the UI are not 100% functional just yet. So, I wonder if that's what's going on here. And how do you want to be addressed? Goddess, god, or neither? Interesting that when you choose neither, it still says god of the following here. Yeah, weird. I'll say neither. You know, this is right here. This is the humility slider. I put it all the way down toward humble. And what is your style? This doesn't do anything super obvious. This might be just like a UI theme thing. We'll put it on dark. All right, let it be known. The followers worship SB, not quite god of the following, with a simple fervor. And I'd have it no other way. For as long as there have been people to believe, there have been gods to vie for their attention. SB is one such god, that's a little strong, destined to claim their place in humanity's hearts and minds. They would start with a single soul, destined to become the first prophet of the following. Wait, I'm the first prophet of the... Okay. I am SB, that's true. I've never clicked a button in a video game that was more correct than that one. From nothing, SB appeared before Tapa. Tapa renounced their faith in the old god, Quetzalcoatl, and placed it in SB instead. I wonder if he's gonna be mad that I stole his follower. First, SB taught Tapa about what is right. In my name, you will spread war, peace, lust, or chastity. Peace will become a vice and may not be selected as a commandment later. And there's... Okay, so there's a unique god action associated with each of these, inspire various temples. Well, like I said, I don't really know anything about the mechanics of the game, but I have to tell you, it is generally the case... So, from the concept of this game, the little bit I know about it, I think of things like populace, god games, right? And in those games, it tends to be the case that population is pretty important, and if population's pretty important, then making lust one of our primary... the primary tenet of our religion might be a good idea? I don't know, we'll see if it works like that. Indulge in worldly pleasures, cries of passion, love, and gratification will fill your temple site. Chastity will become a vice. That's maybe a little strong. But alright, let's head in this direction. Are you sure you want lust to be a virtue? Game right away with the big questions. Alright, let's try it like that. SB, God of Lust. Has there ever been a more fitting description of me? The elders who worship the ancestors considered this idea to be dangerous. This will only lead to destruction and agony. They could not see how they were wrong in opposing SB. A sacrament was called to determine who is right. Okay, I will prepare for the sacrament, I guess. Okay, so this is our dude. I guess this is like tutorial combat. Their team goes first. Be reflective like nature. Does stuff have tooltips? Okay, there are some tooltips. Not a lot of tooltips. Oh, apparently we're defeated. I got defeated. No, Tappa, stay strong. This is not the end, my friend. The elders were resolute in their judgment, so not even really a tutorial. Tappa and a few followers were banished from the old city. Before leaving, Tappa prophesied that one day SB would come back and conquer the old city. Alright, conquer is a little much. I mean, we didn't pick war. One day we will return, and we'll talk them over to our side. Through the magic of lust. Yeah, maybe it's not a lot of talking. Tappa continued to travel for days with the exiled. The people were growing tired and hopeless. Finally, on a fertile and lush terrace, SB spoke again. This shall be SB's holy site. Is it a little silly that I kind of feel bad that I named the deity after myself because it feels too self-aggrandizing a little bit? It's making all the text feel self-aggrandizing. Okay, so I can do stuff, presumably. I think I'm in control. Choose a disciple to perform a ritual. The higher their faith, the better their performance. Okay, well, we do only have the one choice. So we select Tappa, and we send him to the campfire. That's not where the campfire is. We'll add the proselytizer trait. Okay. I did send him to... Maybe that was just like a broad indicator of the village. Okay, so we're just kind of thrown right in here. I don't really have any idea what's going on. Your religion is level 1, a personal belief. A budding belief shared among several individuals. Attract more followers by winning sacraments to become a first gathering. Okay, so we care about sacraments a lot. Is this... Oh, wait, he's doing stuff. He's talking. He's trying to proselytize. I don't know if it's working. This person seems kind of horrified a little bit. Like, that stance says to me, I feel like I'm in danger and might need to run. Oh, it looks like maybe Tappa's doing it. Look at him, he is energetic. Oh, he's got to take a little break, though. Walk 10 feet, have to sit down for a second. Alright, let's see what these buttons do. Inspect our relics. Beyond memories, we have only relics to remember the great ones by. And we don't have any of those, so we're pretty screwed. Okay, that's the game menu. Each disciple requires a certain amount of worshipper support, depending on their talent. To increase worshipper support, increase your god level by gaining followers. Okay, so it seems like we really need to gain followers. He's happy, so he has a chance to do an extra action in sacraments. How I sacrament? I mean, maybe we just hit this big glowing play button? I don't know. Oh, I can make little clouds of dust. Can I shake trees and stuff? Nope, doesn't look like it. Okay, yeah, it's possible that there's nothing to do here except... Wow. There's a lot of map out there. Okay, it's possible there's nothing to do here but hit play. I guess let's do it. Alright, so he's doing his job. We're running the first season. A new dawn. By praying at the holy site center, Tapa's faith in SB grew. The more faith a disciple has, the better they serve. 2 disciples, in awe of this prayer, pledged themselves to the following. They were young Montezuma and Morala. I did make it sound, now that I'm reading it in context here, it does sound a little bit like a serial killer cult. So I guess maybe I could have done a better job on that. SB commands, although they are devoted, they could do with more faith. Papa preached to the new disciples, we must travel far and wide and prove SB's greatness in the holy sacraments. Victory in the sacraments will convert new followers. With more followers, SB will grow more powerful. Go, my disciples, win sacraments, convert new followers, make the numbers generally go upward. That is really my #1 commandment, is that the numbers should always be increasing. So we view the world map to organize a mission. We would collect 10 followers if we went this way. That seems like a thing. Over here, you need to be a spiritual circle. I need to be at least a level 3 religion to return to the old city and quote-unquote conquer them. Okay, well then I guess we're going in the other direction. Oh, that's neat. Like I disturb the clouds. There's a lot of nice mouse stuff going on in this game. Apparently I'm very easily impressed. Okay, so we send out our guys to do sort of a JRPG battle, it looks like. Our team is guided by the virtue of lust. Plus 20% damage on life and nature abilities when the target is attracted to the caster. Okay, that's interesting. So, I mean, we don't really have a lot of options here, right? We put our 3 disciples in the slots, but once we have more disciples, we'll have some interesting team decisions to make here. So what does the 9 mean? Is this his level of... That's his power. We just have like an abstract power rating. I guess I probably don't need to stress too much about this right now. I bet I can just hit this button, and it will tell us what is up. I don't need to figure it out. Alright, y'all. Get up and participate in the thing. Okay, so I don't have direct control then, I guess? We pick the dudes and they do the thing. Okay, well. You see, this dude over here was love-struck the moment we showed up. We have enticed a pagan songsmith. Your disciples have grown more experienced. We get to unlock a class for them. Alright, there's a lot of stuff going on here. I always love it when there's a lot of stuff going on. So you could be a guardian, a beastwalker, a songsmith, a rage prophet. Wow. There's actually like a lot here. So I'm assuming favored means like classes that they work well together with, maybe? Alright, this is a lot right away here that we've just been dumped into. I'm excited about how many mechanics we're seeing. So, okay, the priest has a particular set of nature and life abilities. They are especially strong if the target is attracted to the lust priest, which lowers their defenses. So they have a... It looks like each one of them has 3 abilities that they might use, and then a passive thing. Yeah, it's gonna... Oh no, these are the favored classes of our faith, maybe? The Zealot and the Guardian, and then we have all this other stuff down here. Well, let's make one of each of the favorite things of our faith then. We already have a priest, so let's make a Zealot, a powerful orator who excels at dealing morale damage and does well with critical hits. There's physical damage and also morale damage. I think we're going to be doing a lot of morale damage. Whenever an ally crits, the Zealot uses Lecture. Lecture is not one of the abilities named here, and mousing over that word doesn't do anything, so I have no idea what that means for the moment. Deals some morale damage, raises crit chance of allies, scaling with their devotion. Okay. Seems like a little bit more of a direct damagey class. Miracle charged. Montezuma is strong enough to perform a miracle. And Morala here can be... Oh, no, okay, it's favored by the person. Each person has certain classes that they would like to be. Okay, well, let's make you something that we don't have yet. A vigilant defender of the people sounds pretty good. So, like, we already have a zealot. A rage prophet doesn't sound quite like our thing, but we probably will need some ability to participate in physical combat. I bet we will run into some people who can't just be talked into bed. That said, their offensive capabilities are limited. Hey, it's good to have protectors. It's good to have tanks, right? And we can customize... Oh, man. Yeah, you get a whole bunch of different... You could spend some time on this. We're not going to bother with it. We're just going to leave him pretty much as he is. Okay. Let us proceed. So we have a little bit of an idea of what's going on now. Your disciples have overcome the obstacles before them, and they return home victorious. We brought home some new believers. Embrace the converts, both metaphorically and literally, because that's how we do. In their sacrament victory, some disciples gained a miracle charge. These disciples are ready to perform a powerful miracle. However, miracles cannot occur just anywhere. No, obviously not. Your disciples want to construct a new holy place, important to the faith, where they could enact this miracle. Okay, we will erect an important place where miracles are performed, I guess. Inspire the construction of a building where disciples can perform miracle rituals. Alright, so we have... Do we have this ability twice because we have two different disciples who want to do miracles? Perform a herder's miracle, raising health and increasing physical defenses. Raising health, which increases physical defenses. And it will cost offerings. Do we have a stock of offerings that I can... No, we do not have a stock of offerings that I can see. Alright, miracle myths raise charisma, which increases morale damage. That seems like it's probably pretty important to us, right? Based on what little we understand about the game's circumstances so far. Market raises cunning and knowledge, which increases crit chance. Hunting just increases cunning. It feels to me like the storytelling circle is maybe a good way to start. And then, yeah, miracles cost offerings. Okay, yes, in the upper left, we have 50 offerings currently, so enough to perform 2 miracles. And we want... oh, geez, I don't actually know. I don't know that it matters much. I'm going to say... What does the R mean? Morella is recovering and cannot go on a new one for a while. Okay, Morella took damage during the last thing. Alright. You come over here and do this. It'll cost 25 offerings and 1 season, I'm guessing, is what that time currency was. And then can we do it again? Can we do another one? The tavern raises health and devotion. Outdrink others, gaining health and devotion. Not a good way to try to increase your health. The farm miracle mostly raises might. So we're not actually worried about food or anything. We don't have to build farms for the purpose of eating. I guess we want to really lean in on this morale attack thing, right? We have a linear, let's play to the linear. So you can go and... Ooh, we can put them on either. I'm gonna split them up. I'm definitely making some decisions here kind of arbitrarily. We're just gonna see what happens. So we can send somebody to the ritual site to increase their faith by 10 temporarily. Okay, so there's a day's time scale and a season time scale. So can we, like, what is Tapa doing right now? Tapa loves fertility, don't we all? He's a heart melter. Adds the infatuated debuff, which temporarily lowers physical armor and morale armor and puts a clouded thought in the mind. And he has a dark soul. Oh, maybe this is what our style being set as dark. Maybe this gives this ability. Chance to follow up an ally's dark ability. Triggers rarely scaling with faith. Okay. Disciples learn abilities automatically, but after some miracles you may grant them divine inspiration by choosing skills for them. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. So during a sacrament, the disciple will choose from these abilities. If you have ability points, you can sculpt their mind to prepare them for the sacrament. So he has 4 copies of Righteous Flirt, which deals morale damage, but only if the opponent is attracted, and Sensual Touch. You know, haven't you ever gotten into an argument with somebody that ended with a nice deep tissue massage? It's just, this game's just reproducing that very common circumstance. Deals life physical damage to an attracted disciple. So he's just like, he is not good at fighting people who are not attracted to him, but fortunately, look at him. Look at this specimen of a man. Who wouldn't be attracted? Yeah, there's a lot going on here. Alright, so is he sitting... He's sitting idle, right? Tapa, do this thing. Proselytize. Add to us more followers. We could never have enough followers. Okay, so we watch... We don't necessarily need to run things to the end of the season, but it did... There are progress bars on everything, and running those progress bars did cost us an entire season, I think. A wondrous storyteller miracle. Montezuma told an amazing story of SB's exploits to some followers. The story was so well told, it came alive in the very stars above the holy site. Wow, that is a miracle. A spellbound crowd looks up as SB did many great things in times long past. Montezuma, enraptured in telling the tale, kept their eyes closed. Stories are the wellspring of faith. So we add the wondrous miracle myth to this disciple's performed miracles. Blessed be Montezuma, he learned a blessing. Deal lesser divine morale damage, so the divine and physical are two different types of damage, and then there's another axis of damage types. No wait, divine is typing, morale is probably like, everybody has a physical health bar and a morale health bar, I guess? We'll figure it out. The following blesses those who follow, up to the 7th generation. At the 7th generation, I kick you out. I mean, obviously, I can listen. I can't just be giving you free faith all the time forever. So his power has increased, and he learned a new ability. As Morala was meditating on SB's will, a moment of revelation struck. In it, SB taught them a truth of the world. As Morala marveled at this revelation, they felt truly touched by SB. Not like that, though. I leave my followers to do the lusting. You know, there's a power imbalance. It would be very immoral for me to be doing any lusting myself, obviously. True virtue shows only rarely. Miracles. So this was not a wondrous miracle. This miracle was not of the same quality. But we did learn Life Strike. This is the ability to punch people in the face, in case you need to, you know. Blessed be. Okay, so we could go out and engage other tribes in the sacrament. We flipped these guys. So I don't know if the skull is a difficulty rating or if it's the number of enemies we're looking at. A common relic can be created here. I guess let's go over here and create a relic. If we got 10 more followers, we would jump up to being a first gathering, which seems important. Yeah, let's give it a shot. So we only have... Oh, you're still recovering. And it looks... We have to have 3 disciples. We can't go in short-handed even if we think our disciples could handle it. So never mind. No sacraments for us, not yet. How do I turn followers into disciples? Okay. We probably just have to level up our whole deal here. So with dedications and relics, we can increase the effectiveness of our miracles, I guess? Miracle Myth mostly raises charisma, increasing morale damage. One of the following will happen. A minor miracle, a wondrous miracle. Okay, so this is like the level of following. You can see Montezuma and Morala are reluctant followers, is that right? Their faith is neutral. But this dude is way into us, and so he has a better chance of getting... Yeah, the same face here. He has a better chance of getting better results. Although... the way I'm reading this would imply that reluctant, like, people with this face would not be able to achieve the Wondrous Storyteller miracle option. And clearly they are. Alright, let's have a look at Morala real quick. Covering from the last trial. How long does that take? How do I view Morala's card? Okay, I just apparently had not clicked on the picture correctly. So, where do I see... It doesn't look like we have an indicator for like how long it's going to take for Morala to finish recovering. Or Or maybe I just don't know where it is. Okay, well I guess we'll just have to wait. 3 faith bonds left. If her faith drops too low for too long, these faith bonds will break. At 0 bonds, Morella will leave your religion. Faith bonds cannot be regenerated. Okay, so effectively each character has like 3 lives. Okay. So, the base actions that Morella picks from are 5 copies of... Basically, pretty happy with me. Your disciples' obedience depends on their feelings and thoughts. And if we drive Morella's faith up, they are more likely to perform great miracles, and they do stuff in half the time. So why don't we try assigning Morella to this, to proselytize and increase faith. Let's see if we can trigger that state change. And then we don't have the offerings necessary to do any further rituals. So can we just have everybody proselytize? Each one of them will add 1 or 2 followers, and that could potentially, if they all roll 2, get us up to first gathering size, which would be useful. And the rest of our town will just kind of sit idle for a moment. We need some more offerings. Okay, worked obediently and passionately. Good job, everybody. And now, yeah, Morella is no longer recovering, so now we can go out and do a thing. I am still interested in relics. Let's go find out about relics. Okay, so you're attracted to both the feminine and the masculine. You are both just attracted to the masculine. So we want to do this, right? I'm not actually seeing where is an indication of feminine or masculine. I'm just guessing based on whether they're wearing a top right now, which is probably not 100% foolproof. Is it in stats? Where's the... Am I just missing it? It's probably really obvious on the overview screen, right? It's really not. Oh man, we had to pay attention to people's totems as well, because these give them some natural propensity to be a thing. Maybe we don't have to care too much about this. It might be the case that their preferred classes are based on this, and it's like the game is already keeping it in mind for us, basically. Okay, well, I'm gonna do it like that. I think we should be effective here. We are way more powerful than they are. Maybe we should put Tapa across from their powerful guy? Maybe? Let's pay a little bit more attention to what's going on here. Do people always attack the person on the other team who's directly across from them? Okay. Gonna get out there and do some tanking. No, they don't. So it may be the case that putting our powerful person across from their powerful person doesn't actually help us. Is it a good idea for Tapa to be jumping in front of the person who's supposed to be doing the tanking? Ooh. Try not to beat these people to death. We do need them to join our religion. Okay, we've enticed a pagan weaver, and Tapa is ready to do a miracle. If only we had some offerings with which to do this miracle. Alright, so we've jumped up here. Your disciples also gained a common relic. Your disciple blesses a relic. Well, let's hit the God level up button here. Alright, this seems important. As the followers flocked together, the following grew into a first gathering. So our worshipper support has increased, and we have a new God action. Gather offerings to bring the following greater glory. That does seem like a pretty important thing. Can't do miracles without offerings. Everybody knows that. So, bless common relic. Oh boy. Each disciple has an element based on their class. Elemental abilities do way less or way more damage if they hit characters with certain elemental types. Okay, so there's a lot to keep in mind here. So you're divine, your life. Resist dark but weak against ancestral. So if we put you over here, you will bless us a nature relic. You would make us a divine relic, which is strong against ancestral but weak against nature. I don't really know what to expect, unfortunately. I'm just gonna have Tapa make us a nature relic. It's weak against dark but resist divine. It's a banana, the holy banana, obviously. You can assign this relic to a disciple in your holy city and they will collect extra offerings. In order to collect the required offerings you require, your disciples wish to build an offering stockpile. Disciples could be inspired to lead the gathering of offerings here, which we need for miracles. Okay. So we have this banana. Open the inspection window for the disciple and then click the plus. Okay. Let's make ourselves an offering stockpile. I don't know if it matters at all where we put stuff. There may or may not be mechanical reasons to build things in particular places. So... okay, yeah, we can have somebody lead the collection of offerings. And if we do that, we probably want to take Tapa and give him the relic. It will cost 30 offerings to unbind a relic from this slot later. Okay, worth noting. Maybe I should have put that on somebody who doesn't have a miracle charge, because he's most likely to want to be assigned to some other place in the near future. That was probably a small error. And then you two can just continue to proselytize. Seems to be working out just fine. Actually, nobody's in the recovery state. We could have done a sacrament instead. You know, let's gather offerings though, because we have a miracle charge ready. Let's do a miracle. I'm just sort of assuming that you always want to do miracles. Okay, 16 offerings. That's not too bad. I sort of want to keep... people don't remember their jobs, it looks like. I'm assuming that we're going to see that this would cost us... yeah, 25 each. Alright. So back to work, everybody. We're going to do the same thing here and collect one more time. Once we have 4 disciples, we can have somebody like doing collections while 3 other disciples go out to do sacraments. Which seems like it'll be a pretty big gain in our ability to affect the world around us. Alright, so now I would love if Tapa would perform for us a miracle. And I think we want to increase his charisma? It seems like he uses it a lot, right? He's always flirting with people and stuff. If I were hanging out of this village, I'd be 100% of the time in the charisma pit. First of all, it's the only place where we've developed rugs. I want to just sit on the dirt. And secondly, like, obviously that's the place in the village where you're going to have the best time. But yeah, see, so now he's doing this instead of collecting offerings, and that banana is useless to us. And we can have Morala just proselytize. Oh, can we have Morala also? Yeah. Let's just help with that. Okay, so they've gone from neutral to happy. Why have they become happier? We increased their happiness points by 20. Oh, right, this is just their faith, right? They're happier because they were proselytizing. So, okay, we actually have like a day and night meter over here, and it looks like jobs take a day, not a season. Several followers have traveled to the holy site, eager to become your next disciples. You may summon these initiates and determine who is worthy to become acolytes of the following. Each disciple requires an amount of your worshipper support, so take care when making your decision. Also, Tapa told an amazing story of SB's exploits. Is this the same text? Yeah, okay. Wondrous miracle myth, so he's got a whole bunch of extra charisma now, which seems great. 2 charisma, 1 cunning, and 1 knowledge. And he's learned a new passive ability. Wait, he's learned a new... This doesn't look like a passive ability. Okay, we choose a new ability for him now. We don't really know what the stats do. The Charisma determines damage dealt with morale attacks. Many morale abilities also scale with Charisma. Extra important for the Lust Priest. This is mostly about punching. Health determines physical armor and increases chances to block physical attacks targeting allies. Okay, so characters who have high health will naturally jump in front of weaker allies to take damage. Devotion determines morale armor and increases chances to... It's the same thing as health, but for morale. Knowledge determines crit chance for morale and increases chance to defy, which negates incoming morale damage. So that's what happened here. We saw Tappa's devotion trigger him jumping in front of Morala in that last combat. I think it was Morala. And then his knowledge caused him to defy and negate the incoming attack entirely. And then cunning is the same thing for physical. High cunning also makes physical attacks harder to block. Okay. So he is all about charisma and cunning. Interesting. Alright, so charisma and cunning are his two options. I think we're gonna focus on like offense here. And so we're slowly replacing, you can see, we're slowly replacing his basic Righteous Flirt ability, which I am assuming is pretty weak. 3 to 6 damage with a charisma bonus. See, this is even getting more extra damage from his charisma. It has a higher scalar as well as a higher base damage. And it adds the Infatuated debuff, which Righteous Flirt also does that. Come to the following. We've got me. Tappa just sort of gestures at his chest and says, all of this if you come back to the village. Alright, we got some new initiates. Present yourselves to us, people who would like to join. Wani from the seas, Uemen from the lands, and Ate from the bloodline of Tappa. Oh, Tappa's been getting down, right. Let's have a look at Huani. So Huani has the Finch Totem, a talent for knowledge, charisma, and devotion. Talented attributes will automatically rise whenever they perform a miracle. Okay, in addition to whatever other benefits we get from it. And a knack for nature. We have some nature abilities, right? Ooh, this guy's got a much higher follower support cost. I'm assuming he's a lot better. Okay, it's not just the totem. You can see this is rank common Finch Totem. This is a rank good Armadillo Totem. He's got a talent for health and cunning and nature soul. He will learn more improved abilities by leveling up. That seems pretty good. And Ate, daughter of Tappa, the Spectacled Bear Totem. Health, might, and knowledge, with plus 25% defy chance. And a basic... Okay, it is a he. A basic, just plus 10 faith all the time. It seems hard to turn that one down. I'm not as wild about having good might as I am about like health and cunning, but plus 10 faith seems like a big deal, right? I guess we don't really know. Let's take Ate. Oh, do I... No, we just get all of them? Available initiates. Oh, I can pick as many as I want, I think. Maybe. Let's take Ate. And then we have room left. We can still take Huani. Huani is not great, and maybe later we will feel like we shouldn't have taken Huani because, you know, it could prevent us from hiring somebody better later. But right now I just sort of want bodies, I think. Yeah, that seems fine. In every generation, a few chosen are born. That seems fine, he says, not really having any good idea. Okay, so 20 days before we get more people. So we have initiations, or we have worshiper support, which is important, but it is not the thing that lets you recruit. You're always going to be bottlenecked by time to some degree. So, alright, we have a lot of things to keep track of here. Well, let's keep doing sacraments. Sacraments seem really important. So, there are 10 followers available from doing either of these. There's no conversion reward for this place. And then once we take back the old city, it looks like there are additional islands to go to. I gotta say, for something that's in early access, it feels like there's quite a bit of game here. I guess let's go this way. This node seems to be pretty heavily connected. This will open up some new stuff for us. So obviously we send out Tapa. We can actually look at their abilities, and we have a little bit more of an idea of what these things actually mean now. Chance to gain damage boost after the Rage Prophet gets hit by a physical attack. That's okay. We're not going to be using a lot of physical attacks. Chance to inspire allies to deal physical damage whenever the chieftain uses a rally or violent ability. So these abilities have tags that we're not seeing, because it doesn't say on here that this is rally or violent, but I'm assuming it is at least one of those things. Otherwise, this seems like it would not be terribly useful. Okay, so they're going to be real punchy. We probably want Morala in here. A little bit of that physical defense. And then, do we want to bring Montezuma just because Montezuma is higher level? Okay, here's Lecture. Or do we... I think we want to maybe try not to do a lot of physical damage here. On account of the rage ability the two of them have. So yeah, let's come in here and try to convince them that there are lots and lots of good reasons to come and live in our village. Those are some ridiculously huge axes, though. That would be very, very unpleasant to be hit by. Okay. SV is your shield, that's true. Okay, so we have a little bit of violence going on. Unfortunately, we only have two disciples who are mostly non-physical. So we weren't able to avoid doing physical damage entirely. So characters do not have individual health, I guess. The health is a team resource. So if you have a weak point in your team, you can't necessarily rely on the others to cover for them. And the idea of an individual character's health is really just about avoiding damage and blocking it. Okay, I'm getting it. I'm slowly figuring it out. Hopefully this is as interesting to other people as it is to me. I'm having a great time so far. They just keep introducing mechanics, and there's so many little tooltips to read and little numbers to look at. Alright, good news. We leveled up again. I am now a level 3 Cheetah Skeleton God. Oh, that graphical effect is not in yet, apparently. The following grew into a spiritual circle, so we can now inspire fanatic grounds. Find the most fervent worshippers to induct as fanatics. Several followers felt so close to SB that they wished to serve them more actively. Tapa reasoned that they could be trained to become ardent fanatics. Fanatics may be sent to rituals to increase their effectiveness. Okay. So I'm assuming that the choice between God, Goddess, and Neither was actually selecting our pronoun. It's just, like, not super clear on that initial God creation screen. Alright, hold on. Do I want people... I want to pause now, right? No, I cannot. This button, it looks like you could click on that to pause, but it doesn't actually do that. Okay, inspire construction of a fanatic grounds. Yeah, that seems important. We have 35 offerings again, so we could do a miracle if somebody got charged up. So let's see, we can't inspire a miracle. We probably want somebody doing this fanatic thing. So I guess to a certain extent we gotta figure out, like, who would we want to bring on the next sacrament? And who is staying home to do work? I'm gonna have... Let's have Morala do the job, because Morala has faith. So what I'm thinking is we can bring Tapa, Montezuma, and one of the new guys out to the sacrament. The other new guy can just proselytize and gain faith. And then we want somebody who already has faith to be doing the job, because they do a better job, right? So Ate and Juani are functionally very similar at this moment. I think I want Ate out gathering XP, right? Ooh, these guys have a god of their own. Interesting. Yeah, we're no longer facing people who are merely undecided. And there's a rare relic to be created over here. Well, I think we gotta go this way. I don't know if difficulty 5 is something we can actually pull off. So they have smite swords. I cannot, unfortunately, like, right-clicking doesn't give me access to the tooltip, so I cannot read what a smite sword is. Sounds like physical damage, so maybe I made a bad choice with putting Morala to work. Interesting, though. We could just pull Morala back. Maybe we want to put Montezuma to work instead and have Morala come out here and help out a little bit. Actually, there's no indication here that people are working. I wonder if... Hold on. Let's go back to the city. I wonder if it's the case that going on a sacrament doesn't prevent you from also doing other stuff. I had just kind of assumed that it did. But let's have you... Oh, you cannot inspire more than 3 disciples at once. Well, that's a shame. So only 3 people can be working. Oh, the rewards for level 4 give us the ability to dedicate a statue to lust. Boy, I can only imagine what that's going to look like. And the ability to construct a new miracle building. Okay. Alright, so basically what I'm curious about here is, if we send Tapa out to do the sacrament, is Tapa also still doing the work back in the village? Alright, let's see if we can pull this off. Plus 20% damage on life and nature abilities when the target is attracted to the caster. So... this is a nature ability, that's a life ability... But the basic abilities... Oh no, okay, it's not always the case that the basic abilities are untyped. It's just that this one is untyped. This is a divine ability. Okay. None of your abilities are typed, unfortunately. And there's a chance that you will be inexperienced and too nervous to act. Well, that's unfortunate. Maybe now, in our most difficult challenge yet, was not the best time to bring a newbie. So I wonder if the targeting is random, or if they tend to target the enemy who is weakest against their particular attack. Oh, look at that, jumping in front. And now we understand the actual mechanics of that a little bit. Oh, Ate was nervous. So no, characters do have individual health. Individual characters can be knocked out and have their life bond reduced, maybe? Tapa hits for about 1 billion if he can hit somebody who's infatuated with him. Alright, that's excellent. So you would like to be a Rage Prophet, a Druid, or a Weaver. The Weaver spreads your will through dreams and visions. They focus on manipulating the enemy mind. That sounds pretty good. The Weaver will always cast doom on enemies who execute a clouded thought. We do have abilities that give people clouded thoughts. I'm assuming doom is one of their actual powers, which unfortunately it looks like we don't have the access to. We don't get to see what doom is here. So it deals less dark morale damage, but dazes an opponent for the entirety of the sacrament. Okay, I mean, yeah, that seems like it plays into our strengths here. Your disciples attained a rare relic. Well, obviously we embrace the converts, and then we have a nature relic already. So I'm assuming some of the relics we'll create will have actual use in the sacraments. Let's make a life relic. That seems to be sort of our thing. And it doesn't look like Tapa being more faithful or higher level has any effect on what relics are created. You know, we can just have anybody do this, or at least it's not... If it is the case that it matters what level they are, that's not being indicated to us very clearly. Okay, life and nature abilities gain plus 20% crit chance. That seems really powerful. given our lust bonus and everything. And then, yeah, people who went on the sacrament still totally do work. Okay. I'm slowly getting it, I think. So unfortunately, Tapa already has this holy banana. Boy, does he ever. So who has the most life and nature abilities after Tapa? Because we could just spend the offerings to remove the relic, right? So you have a knack for nature, but your abilities are actually mostly divine. You use performance whenever an ally scores a critical hit. But we don't know what performance is. And yeah, you can see down there categories. I think those are the tags that some of the passives are hanging off of. Currently have 0 ability points. Gain ability points by performing rituals that provide rewards. Okay, so we can pick up new abilities and higher level. Man, there's a lot going on here. Well, for right now, I guess we don't know who we want to put the relic on. You can perform a ritual or a miracle. We should probably do a miracle. I'm gonna have Montezuma do one, just because Montezuma is already a little bit more powerful. Montezuma, you should go and increase your charisma. I think we're very charisma focused in this tribe. And then we're just inspiring people to do jobs after that. So Ate needs to gain faith. Let's have the 2 people who are low on faith gain faith a little bit until they're ready to do a good job. And then we can just have Tapa, who is great at everything, get us more fanatics, or... Oh no, sorry, I already have 3 people. The miracle counts as an inspiration. Okay. Then we know what everybody's jobs are there. And the question is, do we want to equip that relic on somebody before we go out to do a sacrament? I think probably not. I don't think we have anybody who it's really good on yet, and because there's a cost to remove it, we have to be a little cautious with it. So it seems like we should always send Tapa out. Tapa is just great. And then the people who are not recovering go next. And it doesn't matter where we actually put them, it looks like, just that they go in. So unfortunately, we don't have any allies. We don't have any people who do dark stuff yet, right? Oh, Ate will. Actually, we could pull Ate in. Ate's miracle's already charged, though. Maybe we want to use people who don't have a miracle charged. But this combat's probably not difficult enough that we need to be at, working at maximum synergy. If we could be gaining resources instead. So what's your deal? Follow up on an enemy performs a clouded action. Cast Purple Haze in the first turn if there is an enemy nature disciple, which there will be as we have things set up now. Purple Haze deals dark morale damage and dazes all enemies for the first round. And then you all have Punish the Feeble. Okay. At some point, we'll know what all the abilities do, and all of this will be, totally second nature, but it's going to be slow going until then. I think I'm just going to leave Tapa in. The Purple Haze is a bummer. We don't know exactly how much morale damage it does, but what we do know is that Tapa is way more powerful than all of our other disciples. So let's just have Tapa in there. We're going to learn something about this haze in a moment here. Okay, this is kind of a lot of damage. Ah, Juani's nervous. That's unfortunate. And also kind of totally getting whipped here. Alright, Stubborn Elder is too infatuated to fight back, but it still wasn't enough. That's a shame. If we had managed to hold out through that one last attack, I think we would have been able to win. Okay, you still get XP for losing. So Juani might be a Lust Priest, might be a Chieftain. Maybe we should have more than one Lust Priest. Because Tappa's partially really powerful because Tappa has 10 power, but it also seems like the Lust Priest abilities are pretty good. Right? Yeah, I mean, they all require attracted targets. But, like, Heart Melter seems powerful, dramatically lowering people's armor and putting a clouded thought in their mind for other people to trigger stuff off of. And let's have another Lust Priest. Also, the Old City Doomsayers was the name of that enemy team there. Sadly, we failed in overcoming the obstacles before us. They go home in shame. I'm just saying, the Old City Doomsayers sounds like a basketball team that you would play against in, like, the Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden world. Montezuma told an amazing story of SB's exploits to some followers. The story was so well told that it came alive in a nearby fire. In awe, the listeners learned about SB, while Montezuma was too enraptured to notice the miracle. All stories about me are true, obviously. Anything anyone has ever told you about me. Except for the thing you're thinking about right now. Okay, we learned Preach, which is just better than Lecture. Yeah, just it's the same ability but with more numbers. Okay, you know how I feel about more numbers. And then you have so much stuff scaling off of Devotion, it feels like we would want to take some passive Devotion on you. And then... Man, yeah, we still have a lot going on here. Okay, so we need to inspire 3 followers. We do not have the offerings for a ritual. So why don't we... Or for a miracle. So why don't we... How does this work exactly? Hold on. How do we spend our fanatics to upgrade a thing? Oh, I'll probably have to click over here. Oh, and that's... that's Tiffany. Everybody say hi to Tiffany. She has decided to be loud for a moment here, so I'm not paying attention to her for too long. That's alright, the episode's just about over. How do I actually upgrade a ritual? Oh, there's a button that says upgrade. Maybe that'll do it. Okay, those are pretty expensive. Is it like that for all of them, or is that one just so expensive? No, they're all quite expensive. Okay. So, we need to keep gathering offerings and disciples. I mean, obviously the benefit of gaining faith is pretty strong. And it doesn't really matter who we have do things now because everybody's happy. Right, and so we're all getting roughly the same benefits. We really do need more offerings. 10 to 15 offerings means we probably will have enough for... Excuse me. We probably will have enough for a miracle after this, but we're not guaranteed to. So what are the odds that we want to put another person on that duty? I don't know. Hey, we should have Tappa work. Let's have Tappa do this. So hold on. Does power figure into... Power is the average of the 6 stats below. That's interesting. So it's just sort of a general idea of how high your stats are. So Tappa is glad that lust is a virtue and loves to be the prophet. Just his favorite thing. I'm just trying to figure out if there's any reason that certain people should be doing jobs. Do any of these stats affect job production? It looks like maybe they don't. It looks like they're mostly about the sacraments, right? Okay, so I guess it could just be anybody who does stuff. Montezuma. Help us out here. I think I'm going to have Montezuma get on Fanatic Gathering. The odds of us getting enough offerings to perform a miracle are pretty high. We don't have enough people to go and do a thing, so... I guess we're good for the turn. One more thing. Okay, so no faith bonds are lost through losing at sacraments. You just have to be mindful of people's faith levels and use the proselytizer thing to buff them back up if they get too low. Okay. I think I'm starting to get a grasp of it. Okay, and we ended up with... Oh, that's right. Tappa generates extra offerings. So Tappa's extra offerings work even when he is not assigned to the get offerings job. That's pretty cool. Alright. Does it cost... It does not cost more for Morala to do a miracle. I was wondering if maybe the more miracles somebody had, the more their cost increased. I'm going to have the other Lust Priest actually do a Charisma miracle. And then we're going to do some more gathering of stuff. Oh, sorry, this is the wrong button. So we want Tapa doing stuff all the time because Tapa gathers us extra offerings whenever he does work. And then it doesn't really matter who else is doing this. I think I'm gonna try to spend these miracle charges as quickly as possible. An amazing story. We got another wondrous storyteller miracle. Our people are very good at storytelling. It's a powerful ability. Alright, so you've gained Seduced. You've gained Seduce, which seems to be pretty good. That Infatuated debuff is really something. Okay, and now people are reasonably rested, so we could try another thing. Let's do one more turn here. So we have enough. We have enough offerings to do a miracle. I'm gonna have Ate do a miracle. Hold on a second. What is your class? You're the Weaver. So I think let's inspire knowledge on you. And then I'm gonna have Tapa do this again. And probably let's have Morala go back and become more faithful. Alright, so we have 3 people inspired. Can't do any more stuff, right? Yeah, you cannot inspire more than 3 disciples at once. I am understanding some of the systems. So it doesn't seem like there's a major penalty for losing a sacrament, except that it costs you time for people to recover. And especially if you don't yet have 6 followers, that can be a big deal. Why don't we... Do we want to just go back and try them again? Maybe this is a bad... If we went up against these guys without Tapa, or Huani, we might actually be able to beat them. I was thinking, like, this one's good because it leads towards some other stuff, but given that the thing we really need to do is get strong enough to get back to the old city and take them on, maybe I'm not too worried about the fact that this node has more connections. We could just try this instead. Actually, there's 10 followers over here at this easier challenge. Why don't we just do this? Evade chance, starts sacraments with plus 50% damage, but lowers damage by 10% after each action, and that still seems pretty powerful. All claw abilities get worse with each use. Well, let's have Morala get out here to, but Morala has a miracle charged already. Just thinking a little bit of defense against physical damage seems like a smart play here. Yeah, I'm gonna put Morala on. And then... Huani's a little bit more faithful than Montezuma right now. I don't know that it matters too much. And Tapa has a nature ability, so there's some chance that Huani will be able to follow up the nature ability. So what is it? Does it say... It's this chance to follow up an ally's nature ability. It doesn't say what you follow up with. Okay. And again, we don't have a lot of control over the attraction thing. We just want to make sure that there are people in the fight that the enemies can be attracted to, but it doesn't matter, like, where they're standing or anything, it seems like. Okay, that's pretty grim for them, that they took 28 damage during the first turn there. Especially given what an extremely good job Morala is doing here. Yeah, wow, we could go quite a few more rounds with these guys if we absolutely had to. So presumably, if you were to somehow break everybody's health before reducing their awe by enough, presumably that would also end the encounter. Okay, I think we are getting the grasp of the basics here. Disciples have overcome the obstacles before them. We are very close to another level up. I mean, very close. It's not like we're going to get it on the next sacrament, but on the one after that we could. A moment of revelation struck. Just a basic meditation miracle. So Ate has learned Nightmare. Dark morale damage based on knowledge. Okay. So yeah, we gotta keep an eye on... Everybody has so many different stats, and they all have different attacks that scale with different things, so we have to keep that in mind when performing ritual, or when performing miracles, while also doing the basic maintenance jobs that are required to continue running the village and keeping everybody happy, and yeah, there's kind of a lot going on here. So my intention for this series is for there to be another hour of gameplay every weekday as we continue to figure this out. But that is going to be it for us for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching, and come back next time, tomorrow, to see if we can maybe finally show those Doomsayers a thing or two about love. And we'll see you then.